when somebody comes to visit me, whether I'm, female, sometimes even male, I'm so used to the fact that, okay, and it doesn't have to be big money, but if the person is going, I want to give the person something for transport. And I tell people that the reason why that mentality got in my head is because growing up, and the mother may be able to testify to this, everybody that comes to our house, my father, whether it's small money, all I saw was him giving them something when they are going.
Yeah.
So my thinking is, okay, everybody that comes to see me, I'm supposed to give them something when they are going in. But here was the problem. She believes that I know my girlfriend will come and visit me, I'll be giving them something, not knowing that something, it leads to something.
Yeah.
Welcome to theBLOcounsel, where we talk about everything personal development and business development. On this episode, we will dive into the Nigerpreneur segment, where we discuss with Nigerian entrepreneurs their journey, struggles, and lessons learned on their path to success.
Let's go from the relationship side, development, and then some, like I said, some of them are married, some of them are not married. But I would assume that we've all had relationships one time or the other with whether it's the opposite sex, whether it's the similar sex, but with relationships. So I'll give an example.
Yeah.
For me, for a long time, when people, how do I put this? When someone comes to visit you, I'm so used to, and this is interesting because I talk about family and upbringing. When somebody comes to visit me, whether I'm, female, sometimes even male, I'm so used to the fact that, okay, and it doesn't have to be big money, but if the person is going, I want to give the person something for transport. And I tell people that the reason why that mentality got in my head is because growing up, and the mother may be able to testify to this, everybody that comes to our house, my father, whether it's small money, all I saw was him giving them something when they are going.
Yeah.
So my thinking is, okay, everybody that comes to see me, I'm supposed to give them something when they are going away. But here was the problem. She believes that I know my girlfriend will come and visit me, I'll be giving them something, not knowing that something, it leads to something.
Yeah.
So, me talking about, let's bring it into relationship and with that. In terms of, your personal development, and, I want to speak from our experiences with maybe, opposite sex or whatever type of relationship we've had. How have you been able to, and maybe we should start with Sadiq here, how have you been able to, merge, your own personality with the person you're in a relationship with's personality?
Okay.
Because, and the reason why I'm asking that is because I feel like, okay, if there's disparity in these personalities, there are problems in that relationship.
Of course.
And like I said, we're switching gears now. Let's, I want us to put it at a level playing field. So, from your experience with relationships, how was, have you been with people before that you feel like, which kind of the soul sing? Why should it think like this? Why should it do like this? And maybe there are things that you've done that, okay, you spoke to her and she's like, okay, you started, doing better. Have you had any type of experience like that?
I think by default, I'm a very accommodating person. I'm hospitable. So whether it's a man or a woman, if you come visit me, I make you feel at home.
It's a nice girl. It's a nice girl.
I'm just like that by nature, from the food, everything. Sometimes I give tips actually. Some people come visit me and they don't know that they have to pay for their Uber. So they rely on me most of the time to pay for the Uber. And I'm used to it. Because I just feel for the fact that they're coming to visit me, I am sort of responsible for your well-being at that point in time. Because if anything goes wrong and they track your chart, I'm the last person we're coming to see. So I make sure you're comfortable from the food, your welfare, your entertainment, every other thing.
So when the girl comes, just because you must buy food.
No, I'm actually making the food most times myself.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I'm mistaking that in for more like a sexual gesture most of the time. Yes, and they try to translate it to other meaning. Of course, I like some of them that comes with, but most of the time people trying to make that sexually. Yeah, so to encapsulate, well, I think it's about finding the balance and making people understand to be intentional with that, right? Because most behaviors spend sleeping girls and move on with it. But there's still many of us that we can understand that, okay, fine, I won't be in a relationship and take it somewhere, right? And you have to find a balance. Because not find a balance with girls or kids like people, you would end up hurting people. And you would end up being the bad guy, quote. So I think that's all.
I don't want you. I don't want you.
I feel like as our conversation, we may drive a little bit because when you talk about hunting and the females and have you? I'm thinking about have you when you talk of hunting, when somebody when you meet maybe a female or whatever, are there scenarios where you feel like okay, maybe I want to give you examples of scenarios where once you just explain that, let me put it like that. I don't let me not give the scenario. Let me let you.
What? There's general humans are naturally fragile beings. We're emotional. Just like some animals, like elephants, they give like us.
Emotional.
They're very
Yeah.
They cry too. They mourn.
How does an elephant cry?
They actually cry.
What for
I
real?
mean, deal with their kids when they are being rude to humans, especially they do with the kids that but they don't have to be rude to people. So when you are having gestures for somebody, some humans they may have invested emotionally with you, hoping they will find the future. If that has happened to me as well. So I used to have a best friend. She was a female. My best friend in the film actually. We were very close. Like when I was not talking dating at some point. Because we're that close. I used to go to their house. Like I used to go over there. I was
your best friend. So these
yeah, we both with actually.
Oh, okay.
Even T-Boss.
There's his best friend, but
Like she's a woman, like she's married now. Yeah, really cool. If I was with them married now, I think she would be my wife.
somebody's wife.
I mean, if I was,
Okay.
I'm in the past tense. Yeah.
For the
So it give you the example could be that I used to have a girl that was sitting on me. She liked me so much. But I do like her. And when I say I don't like you, I don't see her like I like you as a friend. So please, it becomes a relationship, so I can't. You're not my type for Starbucks. So I can't. I made it clear. So we get to that point, the worst has start crying and start being emotionally injured.
Emotions. That's just them. So, yeah, what do you?
Emotions. Yeah.
You have maybe a girlfriend,
Yeah.
and we keep talking about girls. But people will think that maybe we are not talking about personal development. But I want us to be able to link our personal development with every activity that happens in our lives.
True.
It's not just about us; it's about the people that we interact.
True.
Like just to be specific as regards females. If we're in a relationship, and I'm just gonna paint a small scenario where in a relationship with this girl, nice girl, you have a cook just like Mr. Sobi,
Interesting.
and because you feel like there's certain things that you guys just don't agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me not give the example that's here. But there's many things that you guys don't agree about.
Yeah.
And you can, I want your imagination to run free. How do you handle a situation like that? Like, maybe I'm just a young guy. I have this babe. Maybe I like to go out, she doesn't like it. I like to chop stuff, she don't like to chop up. I like to do this, she's like, we go out separately.
Yes. I think I understand the question we're trying to ask. It actually boils down to communication. How well, how good, how effective the communication between you and her has been. I mean, having to understand your differences, because I think relationship is about finding a balance. You have to find a balance. You have to try to accommodate your partner, right? So to say, sadly, I've been in some past relationship that I would say, I'm not proud of, because then I think I lacked communication. I couldn't communicate effectively the things I want, the things I didn't like, in our relationship. And which actually caused made us go our separate ways. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not proud of it, because I felt that these people had good and genuine intentions. You know, smart, intelligent, beautiful. You know, and the communication actually killed it all. So then the good thing is that it's self-development. I had to realize my flaws. I had to realize where I had made mistakes, and I found out that my problem was my communication. You see, this thing about communication cannot overemphasized, because you have to be able to communicate well, even to your day-to-day life, to your business partners, to your colleagues at work. You know, like sometimes people will send you a message. You know, you probably want to reply a colleague, you know, who probably is asking to get a certain question from you, and they're like, okay. I mean, what's okay? Okay does not really justify the question that he's trying to, the information he's trying to get from you. You have to really be specific. You have to, you know, get to the point. Okay, you're coming, or okay, you will be available, or okay, let's get this thing done, or okay, you know, you have to really come out. So this is me now coming out from my shell, trying to communicate better, try to understand better, in order for me to have a good and beautiful relationship with my partner. You know, so that's, I think communication is a very, very key in a relationship.
So, and I know you talked about just again, you know, I feel like my brain keeps driving us in different directions, but when you mentioned something around breakup now.
Yeah.
And you know, but I'll still start with you before maybe we'll go to Damola. Okay, so let's start with somebody, you know, you have a breakup now. And then I want us to think about these questions for still the personal development. Maybe there's something, you know, how do you handle that? You know, you have this girl that you care about so much, you like, you know, fine body, fine, everything. Let me not be too, and you know, so that you guys have an issue, and then there's a breakup, there's a fight, or whatever. How do you handle that? I'll give an example. You know, I read a story where this man, you know, a guy divorced his wife. About 9 months, 1 year after his divorce. He said he found a book in his library that could have saved his marriage. The name of the book is How to Live with Somebody Else. So, I mean, going back to my question now. In terms of vision, I want us to, you know, if we have personal experiences, we can share, you know. But how do you use the things that you already know? How do you develop yourself in a way that even when you're in a relationship with somebody else, you're able to use that to the advantage of that relationship? So, for example, now we have a lady, or you know, or maybe a guy. So nowadays, if you're talking about woman, I have to talk about my giant. You guys have an issue, you guys have a problem, the relationship is not going as you plan. How do you get that kind of person to be on your page? First of all, have you even had that type of experience, where I know you mentioned something before about, you know, issue with somebody else, but I want us to kind of like, you know, so that our audience can understand, okay, from a real life type of angle.
I think I've experienced that in my past relationship, you know. So I think it boils down to understanding your partner pretty much, you know, to the extent that you're able to tolerate them. Alright, so I mean, no one is perfect, and we're not even looking for a perfect being either. We're just looking for, you know, our beings who can complement us. So I mean, for me, and for the experiences I've had situations where, in fact, you know, we've had misunderstanding based on, you know, what you said and how you said it. You know, I mean, people pay attention to. There are people who are meticulous with words. You know, people who pay attention to how you greet, how you said, you know, how are you, you know, it's around that, how you pass your message. So I used to be like that. I can remember a few years back, you know, there's this guy I used to like, you know, and so she sent me a message, and that was the first time. So she said, "Hey, you know, we HEY." I found that disrespectful. I mean, why would you be saying hey, and you could just say hi, you know, and all that. So at the end of the day, I was able to understand. Okay, that's just things you just had to let go. I mean, you don't have to read so much meaning into it, and that at the end of the day affects you, you know, mentally. It's not something you want to experience. It's not something you run to, and you know, it changes your mood. You know, it changes the way you see and the perception you have about the person and all that. And this probably will cause you not speaking to the person and all that. So understanding is very, very paramount. It's something that we should look into. So right now, if I happen to be in a relationship, like, I think I've understood it. I'm not saying that I know it all, but I think that I've understood it to an extent that I know how to manage, how to tolerate, how to understand, how to communicate, you know, to my partner. And for me not to find myself in a position whereby, you know, we all see what's happening out there. You know, the divorce rates, you know, families, it's really crazy. You know, you marry today and tomorrow you guys are divorced. And I believe these are communication problems, understanding problems. You know, the people are able to understand themselves better. I'm not sure they are going to, you know, have these flux or these breakups in their relationships or marriages and all that. Trust me.
Absolutely. No, I'm 100% with you on that. I think it's an interesting concept. But would you be willing to, you know, go on a personal development journey with maybe a girlfriend or a wife or a partner?
Yes. I mean, yes. Call it personal development, call it counseling, call it therapy, call it, you know, just done it. It's something that I'm going.
No, that it's only a pastor now. He's only a man. Show me personal development.
I think but because I will read that we've seen men married to a Christian, we've seen men married to an Igbo. So you have to ask yourself, how did these people make this thing work? How did they make this thing happen? So I think it's still about communication and how you pass your message to your partner. I mean, it's key. See, okay, I saw something. I read about something on the internet. So there's a lady I read who went for therapy, right, and how to manage and keep their home. So the therapist was telling the lady, you know, to speak to the husband. So she wanted to find out how she speaks to the husband. So it happened that for all of the messages she's passing to the husband, she was just nagging.
She was
just shouting. And so she had to stop her halfway and say, let me teach you how this thing works. Trust me, even me that was listening to the audio and the video, like I felt it, I felt the message. So when she sat down close to the man, the way she passed the message, right, you know, tapping her shoulder, you know, tapping him on the chest, speaking to him in a manner and in a way that he will say yes to everything she's saying, to all the messages she's passing. Trust me. And you know what? The lady broke into tears because she knows that this is what is missing in her marriage. She couldn't understood that before then. So I mean, message communication is paramount, and how you pass the message to the next person. You know, you see, even in our workplace, the way the boss probably will speak to the staff, will probably discourage them, put them in a state where they will not be productive. They won't be active to work. Their approach to work will be very, very low. Well, I mean, we just need to pay attention to all these things, even in our homes, how we speak to to families, and these are key things, that key important things that as humans we need to pay attention to.